Hey everybody, Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. So today's conversation is going to be interesting, and I'm going out on a limb. So we are going to talk about whether astrology can predict financial markets. All right. So financial astrology, I just happened to listen to this podcast and I got very fascinated by it. So financial astrology is the practice of studying planetary cycles alongside historical market patterns to identify periods that some believe coincide with major economic and market changes. Okay, so obviously this is not financial advice, but we are going to get into the lead team answering some very specific questions about the upcoming economy. Okay, but I'm going to trust that you guys are not going to take it as financial advice because it's entertainment purposes only. But I'm intrigued by this because I kind of got a little bit more brave to do this because of this person that I listen to who predicts the financial markets based on the astrology. Now, he doesn't just use astrology. He uses, all the things, the historical, the market. Oh, he uses, sorry. I'm like, where are my words? Market history, technical analysis, and economic data. So he does that too. I'm going to tell you who he is in a second. But so he does that too, but he is using astrology. And he did say that the elites use astrology to predict finances as well. He hasn't always been right. And so that's why you can't take this as financial advice. Just like the lead team is not always right as well, because as you know, timelines change, and there's so much free will going on in all the dimensions that stuff shifts constantly. But it's still interesting. I find it very interesting. So that's what we're talking about today. So let me give you a little background, and we are going to be very, very direct on the questions we're asking today, which I have always been hesitant to do, and I'm not feeling that hesitant to do that right now. Again, because I know this is not financial advice. I don't care what the lead team says, okay? So, I mean, I ask them, obviously, and they give me an idea, and it helps me feel more calm about things that I might have invested in that's not doing well right now. But it doesn't mean I make decisions based on just what they tell me. So you just got to be really, really careful about that. Okay. So like I said, I did listen to a podcast, and and you might have already listened to this. I will list it below in the description. Okay. And link it below in the description. So it was an interview between financial astrologer. That's what his title is, financial astrologer. Rowan Hogg. He was being interviewed on another astrology channel, which again, I will link below. I'll just link the interview and you'll be able to see who they were. Okay. So he shares, so Rowan shared why he believes some large financial institutions and wealthy investors have reportedly used astrology as one tool for studying market cycles. He also explained that astrology should never be used by itself, but combined with market history, technical analysis, and economic data. Today's questions are inspired by the topics that he's talked about. But we're gonna actually check his predictions based on astrology. So we're not going to just talk about this as a general theme. I'm just curious, like, what does the lead team say about where gold is going or Bitcoin or whatever? Okay. So we have we have a couple different areas: financial astrology, the economy and the stock market, gold, Bitcoin and XRP, water, AI, and future opportunities, as well as housing and preparing for the future. Okay. So we have 30 questions. Okay, so financial astrology. Actually, let's say the prayer real quick, and then we'll get into each section. And then we're going to ask, under each section, we're going to ask the lead team some questions. Okay. So, I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the lead team collective, and only those of the highest and purest light, and ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, the lead team collective, and our community, so it is all of the highest and purest light. Amen. Haley team and my own spirit team, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Partnering with us. Do you have any hesitations of giving us your thoughts on finances for the community? Do you have any hesitation? No? Okay. As long as we're clear that things can shift. Yes. If you give us predictions though, how certain are you of your advice to us? Can you say you're 75% certain? Yes. Can you say you're 90% certain? No. Okay, well, that's good to know. Can you say you're 80% certain? Okay. So there's a 20%. Is there a 20% sort of like things can shift? Yes. Is it more like a 15%? No. Okay, so 20% things can shift. So 80% accuracy rate is not too bad. I actually have this idea, you guys, in the spirit circle. I have to throw the whole idea through past my sister, but I thought, oh, this would be fun to do this on a monthly basis in the spirit circle as a higher membership, because what I was thinking is we would start taking personal questions in the membership, but I couldn't have 10,000 people in there because we would never get to everybody's questions. So it would have to be, anyways, I had this thought only because I would do this for myself and it might be interesting to do it with a smaller group of people. So we would do like financial astrology based and all the charts and all that, but then also use the lead team. I don't know, might be interesting. Let me know what you think. Okay, so let's see. So financial astrology. So Rowan, again, financial astrologer, discussed how repeating astrological cycles may coincide with repeating financial cycles. So there's history on that. He also talked about why he believes today's markets share similarities with previous periods in history, including 1929. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, so fascinating. This is fascinating. Only many of you have probably are like, yeah, we knew astrologers were using this for finance. I didn't. Not until today. So this is why I'm doing this, because it's kind of fun. Okay, so lead team, we've got some questions about this. Is financial astrology actually accurate? Yes. Would you say it's the same with you, like a 20% inaccuracy? Would that be? Yes. Okay. Is that because of the shifting in timelines and the free will and all that? Yes. If there wasn't the shifting of timelines because of free will and choices and decisions and all that, would financial astrology be more accurate than 80%? Yes. And the same with your advice to us? Yes. Do financial markets really move in repeating cycles? Yes. So they're confirming that that's true, which we know it is historically if you look at the charts. The tricky part about right now is what the government has, the U.S. government at least, has done is they didn't allow the last cycle to really flesh itself out because of the pandemic. So, and I think, yeah, it just created this bigger thing rather than letting that whole, so 2008, 10 years later, 2019, 18, 19, we should have had another flush. And that would have actually been healthier for the economy. But because they didn't let that happen, now we're like, it's like this, it's going to be more like a super flush, Is that an accurate way to describe what we might experience in the coming year? Yes. Okay. Again, just not financial advice. Do not change anything based on this. Or if you do, take 100% responsibility for it. Okay. All right. Is today's economy following patterns we've seen before? Yes. Is comparing today's market to 1929 a reasonable comparison? Wow. Yes. Does that mean we would experience a depression like they did in 1929? No. Okay, so that's good clarity. But the market is at that as extreme as it was in 1929? Yes. Okay. Are today's financial markets behaving differently than they did in previous generations? Yes. That's why it's been throwing some of the economists off. Does studying market history improve financial predictions? Yes. But the astrology, you're saying the astrology combined with that can increase the likelihood of making better decisions? Yes. Okay. I'm liking it. Okay, so Rowan believes the second half of 2026 could become much more volatile. He didn't say like a crash. You can listen to the interview, but he didn't say like a crash, although he said that might come like in 2027, but that it's not, we may not be seeing like this constant what it's been doing, that it's going to start coming down in 2026, the rest of 27, 26. He discussed inflation, rising oil prices, market weakness, and why he expects August through October to be the most challenging period before conditions may improve later in the year. And they tend to improve around the holidays anyways. It's just kind of becomes flat, I think. So August through October, which is kind of fascinating because that's right before the November elections. And I am of the mind, in fact, I'm going to ask this today with you. I have not asked them because it kind of makes me wonder how much the Trump administration is going to try to prop up the economy until the elections, because there's just no way. I think they are very afraid of the economy not doing well before the elections. So, I mean, that's just like a no-brainer. That's not even an opinion of mine. It's just like common sense. It wouldn't matter if it was the Trump administration or somebody on the other side. It just wouldn't matter. They would be concerned about it. Okay, so lead team, is the second half of 2026 likely to be much more difficult financially in the markets than the first half? Yes. Okay, so the financial astrology is accurate with that, like August through October? Yes. Okay. Are we getting closer to another major stock market decline? Yes. Is it starting between August and October of 2026? Yes. Okay. So if you were having an individual appointment with somebody right now and they were heavily invested in like the S&P, NASDAQ, and the NASDAQ, would you, if you were their financial advisor, again, I'm counting on you, not to take this as financial advice, but if you were their financial advisor, would you recommend that they reduce their position in those areas? Yes. Before August 2026? Yes. Now, I'm saying that, but still believing that the Trump administration is going to find a way to keep that propped up. So if you make that decision and it's not a good one, just keep that in mind. Okay. The question is how much are you willing to let it drop before at the risk of losing some gains, I guess is always the question on the table, you know. Okay, let's see. Are higher oil prices likely to affect all of us in the next 6 months? Yes. Well, the Trump administration is wanting us to believe that oil prices are going to come down and that everything is going to be hunky-dory with the Strait of Hormuz and we're not going to have those issues. Yes. Is that going to pan out the way the Trump administration is hoping it's going to pan out? No. Okay. So did some things happen that were unintended with the Iran conflict? Yes. And is it beyond their control at this point? The consequences of that? Yes. Okay. Okay. Are you still recommending that people have some extra supplies on hand? Yes. Last time we talked, it was about 6 months of just extras, whatever you use, just like 6 months worth. Is that still your recommendation? Yes. Is that mostly because maybe prices would be cheaper now and so people could save money? Yes. Or is it because of scarcity? No. Okay, that's okay. I never really asked that question before, but it's more because if you want to save money, which I'm actually enjoying right now, you guys, because like I did some stocking up, which many of you know if you're not new around here, I normally am a minimalist, and so I keep like just like what I need that week on hand. But because we stocked up a little bit, and this way, like if other people, start to want to stock up a little bit, then ours is done. So we don't have to, it's not like a hoarding situation. It's just getting like enough supplies so that now when I go to the store, I don't have to buy anything unless it's on sale, which is kind of nice. I've never done this before. And now it's like, oh, I'm not buying that because it's not on sale. Then if you get enough now at a lower price, you can get, my husband said it's called par. I did not know that. His very first job out of college, which is, it's funny. It's fun to talk about what people, it's not funny, but it's fun to talk about what people's jobs were when they first graduated or out of high school or whatever. But he was a head housekeeper at a Holiday Inn, which is a hotel and a hotel. It's a hotel. I think Holiday Inn is probably everywhere around the world, but I don't know. But he like supervised the housekeepers basically. But so he, had to keep inventory and all that. So he's like, yeah, we're just keeping par now. I'm like, what? I'm like, like I have like 6 things of laundry detergent. So now I won't buy another one unless once we get through it of one, then I'll buy one more. But the nice thing is I can wait till it's on sale now and maybe buy 2 more at that time. So never done that before. So there's there's an advantage to that. When people talk about prepping, they don't really, I guess they do talk about that, but I've never heard it that way before. So now I'm experiencing it. It's kind of interesting. All right. Is inflation becoming our new normal? Yes. Is it only going to get worse from here because of the debt? Yes. All right. Is it possible that inflation will go down, like on a permanent basis until things get corrected? No. Okay. So whatever the end game is, up until that point, inflation's going to continue increasing? Yes. Which is why, like, if we can stock up now, we're going to get things at a cheaper price. Yes. Okay. Is today's stock market giving investors a false sense of security? Yeah, I'm a little concerned about I don't know, the younger folks who, this time is different. It's in the messaging coming from the Trump administration is it's just going to keep going, going, going. And the economy is fine. The economy is fine. He literally says it's the best economy ever. So, but the numbers don't show that. That's just fact, So if people just hear him and then don't do the research, they're saying yes. If they just listen to him but don't do the research, then, so I don't know. You guys tell me, what do you think the economy is doing right now? How do you think it's doing? It's like, I just don't understand. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand how you can just sit there and say, it is the best economy we've had. And then, maybe I'm not seeing the right numbers. What are you guys seeing? Curious. Okay. Is waiting until after October likely to change the investment landscape? I guess I don't really understand that question. Is waiting until after October likely to change the investing landscape? No. Okay, well, let's just go back to like what Rowan said, August through October. So are you 80% certain that August through October we are going to have a challenging period? Market weakness, rising oil prices, inflation, August through October 2026. Yes. And so you're 80% certain about that, lead team? Yes. Okay. I don't know. We'll wait and see, right? Okay, gold. So Rowan believes gold could reach approximately 1,500 or 5,500 to 6,000 by the end of 2026. He also discussed why he believes central banks continue accumulating gold and why precious metals may become increasingly important during uncertain economic times. And which is really interesting because if the market does start to come down, gold will probably continue to come down a little bit. Which, if this then is the case, which my understanding is gold and silver is in the middle of a bull run, it's just a pullback in the middle of a bull run. So like a 10-year bull run, So from listening to certain experts, which we're going to ask very specifically right now, but there still could be more of a pullback if the market starts to come down. So there's that, Okay, remember 80%, 80-20 here, 80-20. All right, is gold really capable of reaching 5,500 to 6,000 by the end of 2026? Yes. Is it capable of reaching higher than that by the end of 2026? No. Okay. Will the paper markets in gold and silver turn around by the end of 2026? Yes. Okay. Is it already too late to invest in gold? No. So are we in the middle of maybe a 10-year, like we're at the year 5-ish of a metals run, like a bull market? Yes. And is this just a normal pullback in that run? Yes. Okay. Are central banks buying gold because they expect major financial changes? Yes. Do you think we're going to get to where our currency in the United States is going to be backed by gold? No. Okay. Does it have to do with stable coins somehow? Yes. I'm sure you guys are going to have more questions now, and I'm happy to do a part 2 on this with your questions because I'm just trusting you. Hands up. I will not make financial decisions based on this. Come on, hands up. I want to see them. Put your little emoji up. Okay. I'm confident you're not going to, so that's why I think Rowan just made me more confident about doing this because he's doing astrology. So I'm like, okay, well, what's the difference? You know, I mean, there's a difference, but you know what I mean. We're kind of checking the astrology with this. Okay, so lead team, is physical gold a better long-term investment than gold stocks? Yes. Would the same, is physical silver a better long-term investment than silver stocks? Yes. Are golds and silver stocks a bad long-term investment? No. It's just that it's better the physical. Okay. Yes. Is gold becoming more important than many of us realize? Yes. Does that have to do with, is it more important than it has ever been in our lifetime in the United States? Yes. Is that because of the debt in the United States? Yes. Okay. Interesting. All right, Bitcoin and XRP. So Rowan discussed both Bitcoin and XRP in detail. He believes Bitcoin could experience a significant pullback before recovering. I think he said like it's at 60 now, 60,000. I think I want to say 35 or 40,000. So before recovering, while XRP could also decline because of the Bitcoin, it just kind of goes together. Before beginning its next move higher. Many viewers continue discussing these predictions after the interview. In the interview, I pulled the comments from their community, so that's what Mabel is referring to here. Okay. All right. Is Bitcoin likely to experience another major decline before making its next move higher? Yes, really wide swing on that, by the way. Now, I have heard people predict that Bitcoin eventually will go to zero. Is that the case? No. Okay. Is waiting for a major Bitcoin pullback the wiser strategy? Yes. Do you think XRP is going to drop below $1? Yes. Okay, I've been buying like $50 of XRP all the way down, like $50 here, 50. I just check, once a week, and I'm like, okay, I'm just dollar cost averaging. But I think I'm at an average right now of like, and I don't have that many, but I think I'm at an average of like $1.98. So I'm gonna wait and maybe I'll just like double up and buy $100 until when it gets below a dollar, because then maybe I'll just, and then if it can go back up to $3, that would be fantastic. Okay. Okay, let's see. And you know what's interesting about the XRP, you guys, is the reason I started buying XRP is because Ann Tucker, if you guys don't know who Ann Tucker is, I did a whole series on her book and what her angels have been telling her. And okay, I never told you guys this, and obviously not financial advice again. I never saw it, just never came up. But someone in Ann's organization sent us an email. It was lovely. It was very nice. And just thanking us for, highlighting her book and all that kind of stuff. And she said in there that, and it's in her book actually. I'll list her book below. But it's interesting because her assistant, just out of the blue, I don't know if it was her assistant or someone she works with, out of the blue mentioned XRP again and said, well, the angels are really talking about XRP. So I'm like, and then Honey C. Golden has talked about XRP too. So I'm like, you know what? It's a dollar, whatever. So you can get quite a few of them for $50 at a time, Now, will it go anywhere? Could it go to zero? Yeah, it could. So there's that, The lead team has told me, or my spirit guides have told me it's a good investment, but look at really wide, again, not financial advice. but really wide swing on that. Now, these kind of conversations I may start having, because I think it would be interesting to do part of our membership. It probably would be another level with this kind of financial conversations and personal questions in the membership is what I'm thinking about. So keep an eye out for more information about that if you're interested in that. Because I thought, oh, this would be kind of an interesting thing to do with a small group, Okay, it's just make like financial decisions together, or not even together, not like a finance group, but just like have the lead team ask your questions personally inside. Like, I'm investing in this. And then obviously you would promise again that it's not financial advice, but I don't know. I thought it would be interesting. It'd be easier to do inside the membership though. Okay, let's see. So, lead team. Is the next Bitcoin bull market still ahead of us? Yes. I don't know. I might buy some Bitcoin then. We'll see. I got to figure out a way though. I'm not doing this wallet thing though. That's ridiculous. There's too many people. Like, we even know someone who knows someone now who lost like $2 million. I'm like, there's just no way. I can't handle that. This whole wallet thing and like the seed, no. I don't even want anyone to think I have a wallet, because then, people have been kidnapped. Like, this is ridiculous. No, they're going to have to come up with, and I know there are some places now that are like more like Fidelity that will store your Bitcoin or whatever for you. But that has to become stronger and stronger before no, I'm not doing it. It's too much stress. I'm not doing it. I think they'll come up with better things. And XRP is actually it's not traditional crypto. It's like completely, you'll have to look into that. Okay. Is XRP still being underestimated? Yes. But is there a chance that they may decide not to use XRP for transactions of the digital currency that they're planning on doing? No. Oh, okay. So XRP has the decision been made to use XRP? Yes. Okay. Is XRP's biggest move still ahead of it? Yes. Okay. Fingers crossed. Is XRP likely to surprise a lot of people over the next few years? Yes. In a positive way? Got to make sure to clarify that. Yes. Are you 100% certain about that? No. Okay. Are you 80% certain about that? Yes. Are you 90% certain about that? No. So you're following your 80-20 rule? All right. Yeah, I'm comfortable with this with the 80-20 rule. Okay, 2 more sections. So Rowan discussed artificial intelligence, electricity demand, natural resources, and industries he believes could become increasingly important. Viewers also continue discussing water resources and their long-term value after the interview. That's not surprising. Okay, but that's not what he was talking about. He was talking about where to invest because of these becoming important. So is fresh water becoming one of the world's most valuable resources? I think it already is. But he was talking about it in terms of investing. So keep that in mind. So yes. Is water becoming a better long-term investment than most people realize? Yes. Is artificial intelligence becoming an investment bubble? That's kind of a no-brainer. Yes. Is artificial intelligence likely to increase the cost of electricity? Yes. Okay. Is investing in these AI, are we at the top of this AI bubble? Are we at the top of it? Yes. So is it pretty risky right now to start getting into that? Yes. Okay. All right. Last but not least, Rowan also discussed housing and suggested that better buying opportunities may emerge as these larger economic cycles unfold, which is unfortunate because a young friend of mine, her boyfriend, soon to become fiance, has just decided to build a house. I was trying to get her to wait. Just even like 6 months, it might have been a little better, but whatever. Many viewers continue discussing this possibility after the interview. Okay. So the last 3 questions. Is waiting to buy a home likely to become a better financial decision? Yes. So are we at the top of a market cycle for housing? Yes, which is going to be good for younger people. So right now, if you can sell, if you're interested in selling, now is a good time to be selling. Yes. Okay. Is another housing opportunity coming over the next few years, which means housing market is going to drop, basically? Yes. Are you 100% certain about that? Yes. They're 100% certain. Okay, so you're breaking your 80-20 rule on that? Yes. Okay. All right. Is preparing for long-term economic changes important for us right now? Yes. Yes. And again, even if that's just getting something at a cheaper price, which, by the way, I'm going to announce, you probably saw, I'm going to put up a pop-up at some point in the video, which has been my new thing. I hope you guys don't mind my little pop-ups. I figured it's better than like interrupting the conversation. But it's July. So in January, we ran 60% off of all of the life planning and get organized printables. And hopefully those who bought that in January, you've been using it. Come on. Sometimes we buy this stuff and we don't use it. But we're going to run 50% off for those who are here and 60% off for those who are in our newsletter. So we are going to start, if you join our newsletter, link below, if you join our newsletter, when we run sale on things or we have special offers, you're going to get a higher discount than you would if you're just in the general public. So that's our little incentive for joining our newsletter. Okay, so newsletter below, 50% off of my printables bundle for the month of July, 60% off if you're in the newsletter, but you might want to wait until you get the newsletter announcement about that. Okay. All right, you guys, I will see you tomorrow, and in a day or two, I can answer your questions if you've got questions about this. So I'm not going to answer like personal questions, but if you have general questions about what we talked about today, let me know in the comments. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.